Hey guys, this is Ryutsu. This time with a new mic. Woohoo! I actually purchased for myself a Blue Yeti, which I think for now is working very well. I've tested it a bunch of times and I'm really happy with it, but I still might change up the settings, so I'm hoping this recording turns out well. Let me know. But yeah, basically this particular drawing is me creating a tribute to an amazing and way underrated show called Black Sails that I started watching last week and I super recommend it. But honestly, this video could just be me gushing about how amazing it is, but I am not going to do that because we are here to talk about art, right? Anyway, as you can see, I started out with some thumbnails and expanded the one I like the most, like visually pleasing. And then I started out sketching the details. I really wanted to include the book that has like story significance to the character. And yeah, if you couldn't guess, this is Captain James Flint from the previously mentioned show. I had quite a few issues with capturing his features, like his facial features, making him recognizable. It's been a while since I tried to paint someone and capture their likeness, because usually I do either original characters or like cartoon characters, animated characters, but it's a lot harder. It's always a lot harder to capture the face of an actor. And the actor has a very specific face that I really wanted to capture. I'm mostly just repeating myself now, so but yeah, that was basically my main problem with this whole drawing, and you will see me fixing it throughout the whole process a bunch of times. Yeah, here I am creating I'm drawing a pirate ship in the background to kind of like balance out the composition, so all the weight would not be just on him, on Captain Flint. He needed something to balance it out. I was really unsure with the color scheme I was going with this. I decided to go with something more greenish, something more cinematic maybe. So that's how I started with the sky. I wanted to create the atmosphere first before painting the character, so I could focus on him fitting into the background instead of pasting him onto the background. So that's kind of what I was going for, but I will admit that this kind of painting is not what I usually do, so it was a bit of an experiment for me, because I usually go and dive right into the shadows, but here I placed all the colors first, like the different colors, the different gradients. I usually add that later on to blend it into the background, whilst here I did it first, which was a bit of a different way to do it, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, even though at first when I started to put some more flashy tones, because I felt like his face was still too green even for that background, and I wasn't satisfied how the red was mixing with it all. So I played around with it a little bit, and you will see later on. I added some blood here, trying to put more reds, and then I added the red into the background, so just so like I could balance things a little bit. It was a really interesting process. Also, I decided that his eyes wouldn't be closed because for some reason I just couldn't get it. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like the expression was right, and I felt like it would be easy to capture it with his eyes open, maybe make it even a bit more intense. I also added like a bit of a glow around his head, so it stands out, so like the eye is drawn to the actual face. And then basically I just started lightening and darkening things up, adding lights, adding details. And I also decided that the background was way too dark and that it was distracting from his figure. I also, exactly for the reason that I mentioned earlier, I couldn't get his features right, so I actually went and helped myself out with the liquify in Photoshop for a little bit. As it turned out, I actually didn't like any of the result, but I still put the videos in so you could see the trial and error that went into it, I suppose. Yeah, I tried painting it in a few different ways, but I actually ended up going with the very first one and just changing it back in Paint Tool Style like I usually do. Yeah, there we go. And basically I just ended up narrowing his face a little bit, cleaning up the lines, pushing his mouth downwards, things like that. Basically just wanted his face shape a bit different, I suppose. I was helping myself with a reference here, clearly. I also erased some of the lines around the eyes that were left over from the sketch because I didn't want his eyes to appear too cartoony. So I erased, because even though he's a pirate, he does not actually wear any eyeliner. But yeah, I did in fact still leave a few of the sketch lines here and there. I felt like it contributed to the style, and blending them in completely would just lose some of the feeling the drawing otherwise had. So and here I'm still lightening the background because I just felt like there was not enough contrast between the character and the background. Like everything, because of the similar colors, just kind of blended together, and I really didn't like that. So basically what I did was just lighten the background a lot. And yeah. And then I was basically just detailing, erasing some of the sketches, things like that. Adding some shading under his neck. Then I focused some of my attention on the details on his coat and on the book, because the book is very important to his storyline, that's all I'm gonna say. And yeah, I think that's basically all I wanted to say. Go watch Black Sails, honestly. It's gonna be worth it. It inspired me so much. Like I rarely draw this detailed of a painting for a show, and I really wanted to do this one. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave you all with this and let you watch the rest of the process video. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will see you around. Bye bye.